All right, so we're recording, and let me do this. All right, you ready? What's that?
Ooh, fucking computer.
Oh, that's your computer?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Ben was joining. All right, ready? Hey, everybody, welcome to the Supernatural Beer Bros podcast. I'm your host, Andy, and I'm joined today by my brother, my esteemed brother up in Maine with the skeeters, if it wasn't been 10 degrees outside.
Giggity giggity goo.
Oh, fuck that weather up there, man. You already got snow on the ground, don't you?
We got a dusting last night. Nothing to really write home about, but
Yeah, fuck that. I had enough of that to last a lifetime. Yep. So, what are we getting into today, Ronnie?
it would appear to be the hollow moon theory, Andy.
A hollow moon. Oh,
Is the moon an artificial satellite?
yeah. Not just hollow moon, but all iterations of moon theory.
God, I'm getting tired of these pop-ups on my computer.
Perhaps. What's it called? Star Wars. George Lucas was onto something.
Yeah, the Death Star. They do look eerily similar.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I said I was joined today by Ronnie, but we may be joined by Ben here in a little bit. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Ben might join us midstream here. So, what are we getting into, Ronnie?
I already told you.
I got nothing.
We're doing the hollow moon.
Oh yeah.
First thing comes from NASA with the moon landing. They described that the moon rang like a bell when they touched down on the moon.
Yeah, that's a possibility. But
No, they said it did.
yeah, but how can they know that it rang like a bell when there's no atmosphere up there to hear it?
So the Apollo missions and subsequent moon landings have been at the center of controversy and conspiracy for years. There's been an interminable debate as to whether we actually landed on the moon at all, what was found there, or to what extent NASA has been hiding information from us. But amid the quarreling and speculation, the number of anomalous features on the moon has puzzled scientists and conspiracy theorists alike.
Oops. Well, I mean, I think we landed on the moon, but I don't think that the footage that is commonly used to prove that we landed on the moon is real. I think that was filmed in a studio or some type of a set somewhere.
Yeah, no, I think the moon landings, as we know, it's a friggin' Aesop's fable. It's it's made up.
Yeah, because I mean, most people that would probably listen to this have probably heard the recordings from Armstrong and Aldrin about, the ones that were redacted and taken out of the official story, where they say, oh, well, we're not alone, and these things are on the rim of the crater, and they're huge, and all this stuff. Well, I mean, if you think about it, if the moon was a spaceship or a Death Star, whatever, that would make sense. If some foreign creature landed their craft on the surface of your ship, uh, yeah, I mean, that would make sense. You'd send some interceptors out to deal with them. Although I'm actually surprised that they didn't just blow them up where they stood.
So I guess here's where the thing with the moon ringing like a bell came from. NASA did several experiments. They actually sent astronauts up there with seismographs and things like that, and set them on the moon to measure seismic activity and vibrations. And I guess everything is right down to even the heat from the sun thawing the moon out every day caused seismic activity. But the astronauts were given different things with like for the seismographs to test how how seismic activity happened on the moon and vibrations and things like that. So they set off charges ranging from like shotgun shell size charges to mortars and multiple grenades. Eventually, NASA intentionally crash landed the Apollo 12 module, as well as the SIVB rocket, setting off an explosive force equivalent to 12 tons of TNT.
Yeah.
And what they found was that the moon rings like a bell, reverberating sometimes for hours. Not knowing much about the moon's material composition, NASA and the Apollo astronauts were astounded by what they heard and the results that it entailed. Clearly, the moon's density was significantly less than the Earth.
Yeah. Well, if the moon is indeed a spaceship, I have a recording of its commander. As soon as we landed on its surface, this is the recording of the commander when he detected the landing.
Release the hounds.
He very well could have been.
Yeah, I think it was. That's what I'd do.
Smithers, release the hounds.
Release the hounds. Oh God. It's good stuff. Okay, so the moon, for all intents and purposes, it is vital to the ecosystem on Earth and how certain organisms evolved. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got the tides, you got the gravitational influence, you got eclipses, you got. I mean, there's a lot that goes into the moon. If the moon wasn't there, it's questionable whether or not life would have evolved the way it did on this planet.
Right, and the moon is just really anomalous anyway. I mean, as far as our solar system and what we know about moons, because this is what we can see, proportionally to its planet, our moon is very anomalous. No other planet, our moon is the 5th largest moon in the solar system, but no other planet has a moon as large as our moon proportionally to the size of its planet.
Yeah, what is it like? It's like a third the size of Earth.
A quarter or a third, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. That's crazy though, because
All other planets in our solar system with moons the size of ours are big or bigger are the gas giants. Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune.
yeah, it's like
So
a lot of scientists theorize that the moon was actually created by an ancient impact that happened like when the Earth was forming, like in the very beginning of our solar system, when it was just forming. And it broke off enough of the Earth to just, make it kind of enough material out there to kind of form together into a moon. But yeah, I'm not buying that.
yeah.
No, the moon has interesting properties. Because think about it. Look, if you look at the moon, it's gray. Like the whole fucking moon surface is gray, right? You land on it, it's gray. It's
Yeah.
there's nothing on it that is the same. Like it doesn't look like a terrestrial body. So
So the moon is the one place where there's a lot of gray area.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not black, it's not white, it's gray.
You are gay.
Jesus.
Goodness. Yeah, so yeah, they're saying that they've watched several asteroids in the past impact the moon. And they say the same thing with the asteroid impacts, that the moon, with the sensors that we have, they say that they literally watch the moon vibrate for
Yeah.
days after an impact.
Yeah, so they believe that the moon is significantly less dense than Earth, even though it has similar compositions and minerals.
Yep.
But for some reason, when the astronauts landed in the crater on the moon, apparently attempted to drill into the surface of the moon, and they had a lot of trouble drilling into the moon
Yeah.
with drill bits that worked on Earth.
Yeah.
But
Diamond
yet the
tip
moon
bits.
is but yet the moon is less dense.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
a diamond tip bit can drill through anything here on Earth. So
yeah, well, it had trouble drilling the moon.
yep.
I'd say there's something just under the surface of all that dirt.
Yeah,
that
that actually
you
reminds
can't
me
see.
that reminds me of a movie we used to watch a long time ago called Remo Williams.
Oh yeah.
He took that guy with the diamond fucking tooth and he fucking smashed his face against a window and he's like,
Yeah.
and then fucking smashed him through the window.
Yeah.
That was fucking great.
You move like a pregnant yak.
Sit. He's like, you drive like a monkey in heat with 2 crab feet.
Why must everything in this country be covered in monosodium glutamate? You can't even say it. I could say rat droppings. It doesn't mean I want to eat them.
He's like, he picks up the can. He's like, he's looking at it and he's like reading it. And he's like, it would be better for you to eat this can than what is inside of it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's great.
Andy, the sea is getting foamy.
I know, right? Because we have no research and no idea what we're talking about. But
I have a lot of stuff I can go through. I came outside.
I get going on it.
Well, I went outside for a minute to have a cigarette. I was letting you go for a minute. And then you went into Remo Williams.
Wait. Hang on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
Christ.
Christ.
Jesus Christ.
What movie was that off of?
I think Crocodile Dundee when the plane takes off.
Oh yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
That guy had never known anything except his friggin' walkabouts. The hollow moon hypothesis is the suggestion that the moon is hollow, usually as a product of an alien civilization. It is often called the spaceship moon hypothesis and often corresponds with beliefs in UFOs or ancient astronauts.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So apparently we have bases on the moon underneath the surface with artificial atmospheres and everything.
Oh yeah.
We run them jointly with Russia and China, and all the geopolitics here on the planet's all a big fucking game. And secretly, we're all working out in space together.
Yeah. Yep. There's the what do you call that? Solar Warden, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Hey,
ain't shitting about it.
what was that guy's name that used to show up at the house when we were kids, old teenagers or whatever, and he'd show up and be like, what's going on, girls?
Oh, that was John
John.
Thompson.
Oh yeah,
John,
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, him and John ain't friends anymore.
why? Told John where he could stick it.
No, well, there was a situation. Someone owed John money, and then he ratted John out
Oh
for
Jesus.
what John did.
You still hear me, Ronnie?
Yeah,
Okay.
I lost your picture though.
Yeah, I turned it off
Why?
because I take care of some business.
Jesus. Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah, I've been
Good Lord,
drinking for
you
I've
can
been
get
drinking
me
for a
out of this
while,
mess.
dude. I gotta pee once in a while.
The good Lord says he can get me out of this mess, but he's pretty sure you're fucked.
You're fucked. Oh yeah. I ain't shitting ya.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I hate
I ain't shitting you, Bob. This tranny's fucked.
this train is fucked. Yeah, you remember one time, dude, I was John was having an issue with the boom truck, and I told him well, like I was just taking a guess, and I was like, yeah, I'm like, your fuel pump is fucked. Basically, that's what I said to him. And he didn't want to listen to me, and he went through, tore his whole fucking motor apart and put it all back together, and it was still running like shit. And then he had to change his fuel pump, and it ran fine. That was like a week later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go, Andy. So the moon is about 2,100 miles in diameter compared to Earth's nearly 8,000 miles in diameter. Yet the mass of the moon is only 1.2% of Earth's mass, while the volume of the moon is only 2% of Earth's.
Hmm?
So
How do they know
Earth
that
is
though?
Earth is 1/4 the size. The moon is 1/4 the size of Earth, yet it only has 1.2% of Earth's mass and 2% of the volume
But how do
comparatively.
they know that though? Uh, is it
No
based off
idea.
of
They're
like the strength of the gravitational pull, or
probably
how do they figure that out?
it's probably the gravitational pull proportionately.
Yeah, that's
But
mm.
so
but see
after
that can be that can be different though, because there's like, like black holes, for example, there's like size wise, like as far as size goes, if you're, I mean, objectively, I mean, they're ridiculously smaller than their gravitational pull. Excuse me. Then their gravitational pull would suggest their mass to be.
so
You know,
I'm just reading here, and it says, just like what I just said. So when the Apollo astronauts first landed on the moon, they had difficulty drilling into the surface of the craters, which are anomalies in themselves. Craters are thought to be the result of meteorite and asteroid impacts, meaning there should be a certain proportion between their depth and width. Instead, many wider craters have similar depths to significantly narrower craters, with some even appearing convex, meaning they curve outward rather than concave, which they curve down inward. And when astronauts attempted to drill into the craters, they were barely able to penetrate the surface, discovering processed metals like brass, mica, and pure titanium.
Mm. Hey, on YouTube, we actually had a couple of people that commented on our Mandela effect video.
What did they say?
Well, one person said merry melodies, silly symphonies, and Looney Tunes. And the somebody else just commented like 10 minutes ago. It said the Mandela effects, or the Mandela effect conundrum. The Mandela effect made ET phone home and turned my life into the Twilight Zone. Now I'm driving a Ford with a curly Q. It's been here a long time. Can that be true? That pigtail makes no sense on me. But they say it's recorded in history. Berenstein had some delightful bears. When the stain appeared, that drew some stares. Okay, so this guy's writing me a poem. All right. I'm gonna read the poem here, live on air. So, Ellis Island had a statue called Liberty, but she moved to a new locality. This new earth is a mystery. Time to learn new history. Did Forrest say is, or did he say was? The internet is all a buzz. Wait. I don't know what that word is.
Oh, God.
Chartreuse. So chartreuse was red, as I recall, but now it's green, and that's not all. Stop. The stoplight had green on top before. Now I see red there and so much more.
Yeah.
This guy took some fucking time, unless he's copying this down from something somebody else wrote.
Layla.
All right. JC Penney has an extra E. It came from Febreze. I do believe. The map of the world is not the same. Svalbard or Svalbard to me is a strange new name. If your memories don't match what you see, you're in the outer limits, just like me. New Zealand moves south. That's so lame. The North Pole is gone. Now that's a shame. The Mandela effect is disturbing to me. Captain Kirk did say, beam me up, Scotty. The Wizard of Oz was so much fun. Before the Scarecrow got his gun.
Oh my God.
Dude, the Scarecrow with the gun would be fucking terrifying. All right. I'm crying here. All right. People say I'm obsessed, and that might be true, though I can't believe Hitler's eyes turned blue.
God.
The sun is white and very bright. I wonder where the moon will be tonight. The lion stopped lying with the lamb. The big bad wolf put us in a jam.
Oh my God.
Celebrities die and live again. I just can't see how that's happening. South America shifted to the east, they say. Now the Panama Canal goes a different way.
Yeah, he's talking about the water flow.
Yeah.
Apparently the
Yeah, I
Panama
know.
Canal goes backwards. Yeah.
No, it's not backwards. It totally changed direction.
Yeah, that's what I
Supposedly,
mean.
like I mean, you would think the Panama Canal goes east and west, but it actually goes north and south.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Australia moved north. What a blunder. There's no way that's the land down under. Cuba or Cuba as a Cuba, like fucking Kennedy as a Cuba. So Cuba is bigger than it was before, and the Arctic ice cap is no more. Sally Fields was flying nun. Now her S is gone like our yellow sun.
Yep.
Tom Cruise lost his shades, and that's not right. I remember his shirt color was white. You remember that one? The
Yeah.
fucking what movie was that? Oh, what fucking movie was that? What was the name of that movie, Ronnie?
Uh, is it the one with Jack Nicholson?
Risky business. Risky
Okay.
business, I think. Um, all right. Fruit Loops went away one day, and Captain Crunch is here to stay. Darth Darth said no, but that can't be. Luke is what he said in that movie. The Monopoly man lost his monocle, so I have to wonder, where did it go? Mona Lisa got a Mona Lisa got a name and a smile. The thinker moved his hand for a while.
Jesus.
Dolly had braces. That's a fact. Maybe a flip flop will bring them back.
How long is this thing?
Not much longer. The Wicked Witch says, "Fly, fly, fly," when scary monkeys fill the sky. The Mandela effect took a hold of me, altered altered some things in my reality. Land, land masses out of place here and there. People once deceased, now alive, I swear. Movies I saw many times before have changed and shocked me to the core. Songs I listened to in my youth are not the same, and that's the truth. What is this place? What put us here? We must be strong, not give in to fear. And that's the end.
Well, that was beautiful, whoever you are. We appreciate
Yeah.
it.
I'm responding right now. Hold on. I gotta add an emoji face. Yep. There it is.
With that, Andy, the sea is totally foam now. The sea has become totally foam. There's no water left, Andy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all foam, just like my beer. Oh my god, that was fucking awesome.
So
Someone
while you were reading that,
I'm
while
crying.
you
I'm
were
so
reading
happy.
that, I scrolled down. I've been scrolling and reading. So we're into the moon being a spaceship and a secret moon base. It talks about in the 1970s how the Soviet astronomers were studying the moon and
Mhm.
theorized that it was likely a hollow moon, but put in place by a highly advanced extraterrestrial race. So this theory came from Soviet astronomers. Their theory was based on these observable anomalies, claiming the moon was an artificial shell that had been inhabited internally for years. While it might seem far-fetched that we are being surveilled by an extraterrestrial race on the moon, or that a hollow moon may have been intentionally placed in Earth's orbit as a secret moon base, there are a plethora of inexplicable facts about its relationship with the Earth. To this day, there are several theories that attempt to explain how the moon ended up orbiting our planet, though none have been absolutely accepted, leading many to believe that the moon is a spaceship. So, because all the theories we all the theories we know, right, Andy?
Yeah.
None of the theories we know explain all the anomalies having to do with the moon. So we just go to the nuclear option and say moon's a spaceship.
The straight nuclear option. What's up, Benjamin? Oh, he's not connected to audio yet.
What's up,
I
fool?
see him. Hey Ben, did you know the moon's a spaceship?
Yeah, there's my rocket. Yeah.
Hey,
It
Ben.
is.
Ben, you missed it, dude. Somebody commented on our Mandela effect video, or actually two people.
Yeah.
Um,
That weren't us.
yep, no, that weren't anybody we know.
Christ, Andy just spent the last 10
Okay,
minutes
now
reading
listen,
a poem.
yes, this guy, or I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. I don't know, but
It's really a he, she, but go ahead.
whoever it was wrote us a poem, a Mandela effect poem. This guy or whoever it was took time to write this comment.
Andy,
I mean, unless they were copying it from somebody else, but I don't know.
Andy, Andy, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah,
Andy.
can you hear me?
All right, he said your name like 15 times.
Who?
Ronnie.
Hey, I'm trying to get your attention.
Yeah. Guess what? The
I said-
guy I responded to who wrote us the poem, he just
Hold on.
subscribed.
Hold on, Ronnie. Ronnie's saying your name like 15 times though. Did you hear him?
Yeah, I hear him now. Say something, Ronnie.
I've
Okay.
been trying to tell you, you should stop recording and read Ben that poem since we already read it.
I can't stop recording.
No, go ahead. Just
Sucks.
read it. Just read it.
I don't know how to edit the video to splice it together between
Right.
recording and recording. So we got to finish going through what we're doing right now.
You are gay.
So anyway, we got a new subscriber. And
Was it like
subscriber.
3 people
All
on
right.
Facebook?
Oh, it is a guy. It's called the guy's name is, or his
It?
no, his handle is UFO. It says UFO guy spaceman.
Welcome to our fucked up family.
Yeah. Welcome to our fucked up fucking drunk ass family. It's great. Good times.
Especially if you're listening now, welcome.
Yeah. If you don't, well, yeah. I mean, we'll just leave it at that. Welcome.
UFOs.
Welcome to our dysfunctional family here. Okay, so Ronnie, where are you at? You were reading something about the moon.
So we were on the moon as a spaceship and a secret moon base. And so I guess I don't know, should I just reread that last part for Ben? Kind of
Yeah,
bring him up to speed.
Read and discuss, yes.
Go for it.
So here it is. I mean, we discussed a whole bunch before this, but this is the moon as a spaceship part of the theory. So it came in the 1970s. Two Soviet astronomers had been studying the satellite, the moon, and theorized that it was likely a hollow moon put in place by a highly advanced extraterrestrial race. Their theory was based on these observable anomalies, claiming the moon was an artificial shell that had been inhabited internally for years. While it might seem far-fetched that we are being surveilled by an extraterrestrial race on the moon, or that a hollow moon may have been intentionally placed in Earth's orbit as a secret moon base, there are a plethora of inexplicable facts about its relationship with the Earth. To this day, there are several theories that attempt to explain how the moon ended up orbiting our planet, though none have been absolutely accepted, leading many to believe that the moon is a spaceship.
It's a very real possibility.
Without the moon orbiting precisely where it is, it's possible that life on Earth wouldn't even exist, or at least wouldn't have evolved to the point that it has. In fact, it is estimated that less than 10% of all terrestrial planets in the universe have an Earth to moon ratio like ours, which provides the stability that is necessary to maintain a climate that can harbor life. The size of the moon is such that it affects our axial tilt, or the way that the Earth wobbles on its axis, changing by a single degree over the course of thousands of years. This relegation to 1 degree of movement is necessary for climatic stability. Without the moon's balance, the Earth could tilt as much as 85 degrees every million years or so, causing drastic changes. This would adjust the orientation of the Earth to the sun so significantly that the sun would shift to be situated directly over the poles rather than the equator, where it currently is. Life could not evolve during such radical shifts.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
That's right. Nuclear option.
Dogs and cats living together. Mass
Mass hysteria.
hysteria.
So the idea is, because of the moon's size and the ratio of its size to the Earth's, the moon in itself just being there around the planet that we're on is an anomaly in itself. The only other moons that are similar to the size of our moon or bigger are only around the big gas giants. Our moon, with our small planet, a lot of scientists have started thinking, no, maybe this was brought here.
Yeah, but you know what I'm curious about though? What you were saying was the Earth to Moon, the mass ratio. I'm
Right.
wondering how it works out with some of these bigger planets that have multiple moons. Like if you combined the mass of all their moons compared to the mass of the planet, it would work out to be around the same ratio. I'm curious.
I'm not sure.
I'm not either. I don't think anybody else has ever figured that out either. Just not worth my time, but I am curious.
I mean, are there theories about like why do other planets have moons then that can't, you know?
Well, I mean,
No other planet that we know of has a moon like ours.
the going theory on moons is that, the planet forms and some random rock out there gets caught in the planet's gravitational field and just gets stuck in an orbit. I mean, that's the going theory on moons. But I mean, that theory doesn't seem to work out for our moon though. Because if you look at the moon, you say you got the moon here and you got the Earth. As it goes around, it's always showing the same side of the moon to every point on the planet at the same, like always. So that means the moon's rotation is in sync, like the moon's spin is in sync with its rotation. So it's turning at the same time as it's rotating. So it's always showing the same side of the moon to the planet. And that's just fucking weird. What are the odds of that?
I mean, I don't know how it works on the other planets and their sort of moon orbits. If it, I don't know the ecosystems or the,
Yeah, but I mean, we know
Well, I
for
can
we
tell you,
we know
I can
for a
tell you with a
fact.
fact that
We
there is no other moon in this solar system or no other moon that we know of that is even remotely like our moon or its relationship to this planet in any way.
Yeah, but think about it though. Like the Earth spins and it rotates, but
Yep.
it's not constantly showing the same side of the Earth to the sun. Because
Hey,
if it
well,
did,
how
if
about
it
this?
if it did, one side of the Earth would be a frozen snowball, and the other side would be a barren fucking fiery wasteland.
Right. So how about this? Because this goes right along the same line where you're talking about, the rotation and the orbit and all that, to where it stays facing the same side of the moon, stays facing the Earth all the time. So now you go to the moon's relation to the Earth, to the sun's relation to the Earth, to where the moon and its size is placed at just the right distance from the Earth to appear the same size as the sun in the sky. And not only that, to be able to totally eclipse the sun every now and then when they cross.
Yeah, I mean, if that's not alien intervention, it's definitely divine intervention.
It's either aliens or God, or either way, it was put there that intentionally that way. It didn't happen by happenstance or by
Yeah,
accident.
no, that's definitely intelligent design. Things like that don't just happen. You know what I mean?
yeah, they really don't. I mean, I've always felt that's been, and I know it's not the religious Beer Bros podcast, but just the natural world in and of itself, I always felt was the best proof for God. Like just all the astonishing interconnectedness of nature, of the ecosystems, of the interworkings of it all. It's way too complex. Like this one,
Yeah,
priest one.
but the crazy part of it is, if even if the smallest little detail of all of that complexity was a little bit off, everything would fall apart.
That's what I mean. Just to add to it. That's what I mean. It's like this priest one time, said something pretty profound. It's like the argument that oh, this is by random is just ridiculous. It's like taking a stick of dynamite, throwing it in a junkyard, and producing a 747.
Yeah.
Like that's how ridiculous the arguments are. Now, you don't have to believe in a. Not saying people have to believe in a specific person. I mean, I'd recommend it, but just to believe in nothing, I find sad.
Yeah,
Even if
belief in nothing is something else.
well, and thinking about, even if it is, aliens, I think about Prometheus, the movie Prometheus, which I thought was pretty fantastic. Sort of like a, it's not a, yeah. So it is a kind of a
Yeah, but
prequel.
you know where
It
that
is
movie you know where that movie Prometheus came from? The theory?
where
Scientology.
really, really.
Yep, that's Prometheus theory. It came from Scientology. Good
Huh.
old
No,
L. Ron Hubbard.
I didn't realize that was on his lines. But I mean, there's a point at some point, they discover this race of aliens, and they're like, well, there you go. There's your where's your God theory now? And it's like, well, who created them? So it just keeps going and going and going.
I
So
mean, shit don't just
I
come
mean,
from nowhere.
even if it is aliens, which obviously it possibly could be, because we don't know the extent of all the galaxies. I mean,
Well,
someone
discovering
created them.
aliens though, discovering aliens doesn't really doesn't discount God.
That's what I mean, because
Per se,
like I
God,
said, yeah.
the Bible says God created us in His image. It doesn't say He didn't create other things not in His image. It just says He created us in His image.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
here's my question though. If he created around, like, he created us supposedly not long after he created the universe, the heavens and the earth. So if he created us in his image around the same time he created the universe, and then he created all these other fucking beings out there that were not in his image, and we all had the exact same amount of time to advance, why would all of these creatures that are not in his image be more advanced than we are?
Because we were held back.
That's a fantastic question.
Why would they be given the opportunity to annihilate us if we are little gods, basically
It was
created in
intentional.
God's image, and all these little fuckers out there have the opportunity here? Yeah, all these fucking little fuckers out there have the opportunity to annihilate us. That makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah.
Unless we have some kind of
Well, I mean-
magic powers that we are unaware of and we don't know how to use.
Well, but think about, the West developed rapidly faster than Africa and Asia. So who says that aliens didn't outpace us, just like, England outpaced Somalia. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's different though.
No, it's different people developing at different rates.
I mean, if you want to get into God and intentions, I think that, the planet Earth was always intended to evolve and advance as a planet, not as regions on the planet.
Well, that's certainly
You know what I
true.
mean?
People
Oh.
are but that was probably maybe the intention at the beginning, but people have free will. So it's,
Well,
and the
people, I mean,
people
people,
are
when
tribal.
it get to people have perverted it and turned it
Yeah.
into a bunch of bullshit and tribal, just stupid fucking warfare that makes no sense. Oh, this group of people was born on that side of the track. We were born on this side of the fucking track. So we're at war with them because they would live over there.
They have very good pig country. I want their big pig country.
I want the slop they have.
So you want to hear another anomaly about the moon?
Yeah,
It
please.
kind of discounts the theory of the moon being formed from the Earth.
Yeah, Ronnie's leading this show right now on research because I didn't do shit.
Well,
So
we were playing on Krampus, but I understand the reason why we switched up. I agree with it fully. So
Yeah.
so apparently there's a abundance of titanium on the moon. So in certain lunar samples, it contained up to 10% of titanium in the samples.
Well, I mean that's a rare metal here on this planet,
So
right?
the abundance of titanium-rich minerals found on Earth has never exceeded 1% in any sample.
So the fucking moon is a fucking treasure trove.
what percentage are they saying on the moon?
10. And
That's
they've never found a deposit richer than 1% titanium on the moon. I mean on Earth. Sorry.
That's wild.
There's other processed metals found on the moon as well, like mica, brass, as well as the presence of radioactive elements like uranium-236 and neptunium, none of which are found naturally on Earth.
That's a colossal, disparity.
So you're saying that the skin of the lunar Death Star is titanium.
Titanium and brass.
Brass.
Titanium
The
and
fuck
brass.
would make a spaceship skin out of brass?
And radioactive elements like uranium and neptunium.
Yeah, but brass is a primitive metal. We don't use it anymore.
And the moon rocks that they brought back were also surprising because they were magnetized. Scientists were baffled, having previously assumed that the moon never had a magnetic field.
Yeah,
The
but
Earth
it's probably high levels of iron in it.
Well, no, that's ferrous metal. It's attracted to magnets. It's not naturally magnetized itself.
No. Well, that shoots down my theory.
So the Earth's magnetism is thought to be the product of an internal dynamo.
Well, just so everybody knows, I mean, me here, and I don't know about Ben, he's smarter than me. Ronnie probably smarter than me too. I'm going on bro science here. This is bro science. I'm, I'm just I try to meld common sense into scientific theory. Doesn't always work, but
Got
in
my
my
med
mind it
degree
does.
out of a Cracker Jack box.
Bro science. Yeah, bro
According,
science.
according to Zulu legend, our hollow moon was put into place by two brothers with scaly fish-like skin.
You're fired.
That sounds thin, but
Was this pre-Shaka or post-Shaka Zulu?
I'd say pre.
Mm,
That's peculiar.
Considering it's Zulu legend.
Zulu legend.
Legends are typically old.
That's true.
Ooh, this just popped
That's
into my
true.
head right now, dude. One topic
Let's hear your bro thing.
dude, no, not bro science. This has nothing to do with the moon or what we're talking about right now, but one topic we have to do sometime soon is have you ever heard, Ben, of the town that danced itself to death?
Was it like out in the like New Mexico or Arizona or something?
No, this was ancient fucking like it was in Europe somewhere. I think it was in
Oh, no,
England or
not
France.
ancient. Okay, okay. No. This was in Germany in the
Yeah.
1400s or 1500s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was some kind of fungal infection that got into these people's brains and controlled them, and they couldn't stop dancing. And they fucking literally died of dehydration and malnutrition.
Yes, I next week.
So, dude, I'm telling you, dude, you want to talk zombies? This is where we start.
I thought we were gonna have zombies after that guy in Florida attacked that person while he was
Oh,
naked.
we'll
and
get
made him
into
sick.
that on the same episode, but it's going to be fun.
Nothing came about from it though, so it's sad. But back to the moon. So okay, the Zulus have wait, and they said scaly.
Yeah, so they had scaly fish-like skin.
That's
Two, bro-
peculiar.
two brothers that brought the moon into our orbit.
That's wild.
And apparently
Is
this
that
ties into
is that ancient lore?
yes, apparently this ties into the Zulus' ancient great flood legend.
Oh, okay.
Because apparently the Zulus have a flood legend as well, just like every other continent on the world in the world.
Well, yeah,
Multiple
like-
Native American tribes, the Christians, the Jews,
South
Yeah, 'cause
Americans.
Muslims.
when missionaries went to North America and were converting the tribes, they found out like the Iroquois and some of the others had similar. So almost every culture does, ancient culture does.
So according to the Zulus legend, they brought the moon into the orbit. It was an egg-like satellite, and from its yolk, subsequently placing it in orbit around the Earth, they emptied its yolk. Prior to this, the planet was said to have been shrouded in a sheath of watery mist, which came raining down to Earth once the moon came into orbit.
You are gay.
That's interesting. Huh.
And the two brothers, the legend of these two brothers with the moon and creation and the flood and all that stuff show similar characteristics to the stories of Enki and Enlil from the ancient Sumerian lore.
Yeah, that's something that somebody me and you, Ronnie, listen to all the time. He always talks about Enki and Lil.
Yep.
Yeah. The other podcast we listen to all the time.
Okay, so there and again, similar stories found in vastly different cultures, flood related probably, because it's like, people were scattered and still
Yeah,
kept the same story.
the Hopis have a tale of the flood, and several other Native American cultures have the same tale.
But I mean, it's just yet another example of a similar story. I didn't mean to just make it about the flood, but yet again, a similar story in a completely different culture with no connections until recent times. Crazy.
But it's like also like I was telling Ronnie earlier before you joined, without the moon exactly where it is at exactly the same size and mass it is with its gravitational effect, the tides and everything wouldn't be the same. Creatures that have evolved and navigate by the moon and all this stuff, they would have, I mean, they never would have fucking existed. Like all kinds of shit on this planet wouldn't have evolved the way they did without the moon being there in exactly the right spot where it is now.
Wild. Yeah. Oh, it just happened because of random chemical imbalances or whatever now.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, hey, you know what? We all fucking crawled out of the primordial ooze. And and we evolved from this goop that came in on an asteroid fucking billions of years ago.
Explain the platypus, motherfucker.
I don't think so. Dude, the platypus, it's like half duck, half fucking beaver, half turtle.
That's what I mean. I'm glad God threw him in there just to mess with atheists. Like,
It's got three halves. It's got three halves. Explain that. Makes no
What a
sense to
mutt.
anybody. Doesn't make sense mathematically. Doesn't make sense logically. But there it is. It's
that was just God throwing in like that was like an evolutionary time bomb waiting to go off.
I don't know what the platypus is, but it's
It's a divine
interesting.
prank, is what it is.
It's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
It's all very strange.
Maybe we can train them to carry bombs to submarines.
Plataboom.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So wait, who came up with this theory again about the hollow moon?
Anybody?
You guys got really quiet all of a sudden.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It just got wicked quiet. Like my phone went down to like 50% volume.
It
But
got
it's all the way up. It
wicked
just did
quiet.
it all of a sudden. Huh?
Hit your volume button.
Wicked.
I did. It's all the way up. I don't know what
Okay.
happened. You guys
Well,
just got really
sometimes
quiet.
sometimes I don't know. It happens on my phone all the time. If you get a text or a call that you reject or whatever,
Yeah,
sometimes
that's true.
it cuts your volume in half, and you
Yeah.
just got to turn it back up. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but it's not doing that here.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. It's just like it's at 50% volume, but it's all the way up. I'm hitting it right now. It's not doing
The
anything.
moon interfered with your signal,
Well,
bro.
Ronnie, we can hear you fine. So I don't know.
So
What's going
sorry.
on.
So who? Obviously, I missed that part. Who derived this hollow moon theory?
Well, one thing I was reading said that the first mentions of a hollow moon were in science fiction writings in like 1901 with H.G. Wells.
Oh yeah, one of the secret society guys.
But
G. Wells.
there's another thing that's talking about 7 irregularities that show that the moon was engineered. And so, well, we all know it seems engineered. And the moon has elements that it should not have. We've been through that one.
That 10%'s wild.
The moon apparently does not have a solid core. Like every other planetary object, researchers are nearly 100% sure that the moon is in fact hollow or has a very low density interior. Strangely, the moon's concentration of mass is located at a series of points just below the surface.
So I wonder when we deploy troops to protect all that titanium.
And
They're already deployed.
apparently the
Force.
moon is older than Earth. Our moon is unlike any other satellite discovered in the known universe. Researchers know the moon
Hold
is
on, Ronnie.
4.
Hold on. You said the moon is older than Earth?
Yeah, let me finish
Because
reading
I've
this.
heard the opposite. I've heard the moon, some of the rocks or whatever they brought back from the lunar landings were carbon dated, and they're the exact same age as Earth, which is
Our
why,
moon,
which is why they came up with the theory that the moon was created by an ancient impact of something
Andy,
huge hit Earth and broke a huge piece of Earth off, and that's what created the moon.
I'll explain this if, let me finish this real quick. So they say the researchers know the moon is 4.6 billion years old. And that raises a lot of questions. This means that the moon is older than the Earth by nearly 800,000 years, according to scientists.
That ain't fucking much.
Yeah,
true.
not in the grand scheme of things.
Nope.
Yeah, I thought I had always heard, at least in school, the theory about the whole ancient impact.
Yeah, I mean,
Earth's moon,
the going theory was another planet or a planet-sized, Earth-sized object collided with the Earth and broke off enough material to where it formed into the moon. I mean, whatever. Oh shit. Hold on. This meeting will end in 10 minutes. Upgrade now to remove 40-minute time limit. You know
Yeah,
what?
the
Stick it up
listeners
your
need
ass,
to do
Zoom.
that.
so Earth's moon is the only moon in the solar system that has a stationary, nearly perfect circular orbit. It's a fact that the moon does not spin like a natural celestial body. In other words, our moon does not share any characteristics with any other moons found in our solar system. If that isn't strange enough, consider that from any point on the surface of our planet, only one side of the moon is visible.
Huh.
One side of your moon is visible. Good shit.
Well, I just wonder, like, what would, like, they've had billions of years of of observation potentially. Like, what's the holdup? You know, unless they're like pulling all the strings. Like, hey, let's send these two countries to war today. Let's see how that goes.
Oh, hollow moon theory debunked. Let's see what the debunkers say.
Gotta give them their due.
Hmm. Where are we at here? Come on. No, that's nothing. Can't
Sorry,
find
guys. I'm
anything.
trying to upgrade my Zoom so I don't get cut off here. It's fucking ridiculous. What the fuck? Bitch.
Well, apparently Neil Armstrong met aliens on the moon. Did you know that?
What happened?
I said apparently Neil Armstrong met aliens on the moon.
He met him? Because all I knew was that he had reported back that he saw them. But, you know, basically that the intent was given that, yeah, you shouldn't return here.
Thank you for choosing.
What happened? Did we get cut off?
Oh, I got a little pop-up that said thank you for choosing Zoom.
Yeah, because I
Right,
just
okay.
upgraded. Oh, this is stupid. I hate this shit. All right. Zoom meeting pro, upgrade account, quantity 1. Up yours, up yours. In the words of my generation, up yours.
We were just watching Mars, thinking about aliens. We were just watching Mars Attacks yesterday.
You were watching Mars Attacks?
Yep, love that one.
Yeah, I watched that. I watched that a couple months ago. It was fucking hilarious.
So
Maybe
I
they
am.
don't,
When he's,
maybe they don't liking the human being.
he's about to box the alien, and he's like, "I'm Byron something, heavyweight champion of the world."
So Andy, apparently Neil Armstrong, when they landed on the moon and he got out, he made a radio transmission, and it was really poor quality, but you can make out that he's expressing his surprise on spotting a light on the rim of one of the lunar craters. When mission control requested more information, the transmission went dead and it came back only after a full minute of gap. As per NASA sources, the conversation that had happened in between this lost minute was about how baffled Armstrong was to spot spacecrafts on the moon's surface. He
Yeah.
he exclaimed, "What was it? That's all I want to know."
You know
And
what I'm
he
curious
added
about?
that, huh?
I'm curious about how much Jack Daniels he was able to bring on the spaceship with him.
Maybe he brought some. Could have.
I would have brought a bunch.
Probably
I would
brought some ayahuasca with him too, or something.
How was Ronnie the serious one tonight, and Andy's not?
Because I did no research tonight. It's Ronnie's turn.
Well, how the turntables.
How the tables have turned, you mean?
Yeah, I know. That's from The Office, Jack.
I don't know about The Office. I don't watch that shit.
Michael.
So the
Like
last bit of this, he apparently added that the objects were huge, and he said with complete confidence that there were other spacecraft that were lined up on the far side of the crater. He also commented, "They are on the moon watching us."
Get a question, Ben.
Huh?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How pale do I look? Because on my screen, I look like a ghost.
You look pasty. You look sick.
I do look pasty, right? It's horrible. I need to get jacked and tan and juicy as fuck. That's what I need to do.
You close my gym, I'll close your casket.
Right? Hey, if anybody's listening that wants to listen to a great fucking podcast, it would be the Glorious House of Gains podcast. Robert Frank. That guy's fucking great.
He has a podcast.
Fuck yeah. You never heard of the
didn't even know
Glorious
that.
You never heard of the Glorious House of Gains podcast?
No.
Well, yep. You close my gym, I'll close your casket.
I'm mostly listening to prepper podcasts these days. So.
Yeah, this guy this guy's basically
tanned and fucking juicy as fuck.
this guy, like when COVID started, he did a video. I don't know, it's probably on every platform, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everything, right? And he basically said that he's like, COVID, he's like, COVID shit, it's the fucking flu. He's like, oh, but you, Robert Frank, you're being insensitive, people are dying, they're weak. He's like, fuck it. He's like, they die, they're weak. That's how nature was intended.
He was just going full Ivan Drago. If he dies, he dies.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, but that's how I feel about fucking COVID.
Yeah.
It's
He's
a bunch
like,
of bullshit.
this is how nature works. The strong survive, the weak fucking die. That's it.
I mean that's historically and biologically accurate. So
He's like, the strong survive, the weak fucking die.
Especially since humanity isn't going to war every like 5 seconds now, like it used to over the past several millennia.
Well,
Uh,
actually, we are, but
No, because you look at like Europe, for example, just like the wars in Europe, there are hundreds of wars you have never heard about.
yeah, but the thing is that all of Europe and the rest of the world, they're scared shitless of us. So they don't want to start shit.
I'm just
Because
saying, like,
they know that if they're on the wrong side of a war, the United States is coming.
well, yeah, I'm just saying France used to sneeze and Britain would launch an invasion, or England would launch an invasion.
Right?
We
Right?
used to biologically deal with that way with our human population, but now, Mother Nature's having to step in, I guess, since we're not really doing much of that anymore.
Yeah,
Except for
some guy,
drone flies.
right? Some leader or some guy on fucking one side would take a shit in the wrong spot in the forest, would fucking start a war.
That is the king's wood. Kill him and all his men.
How
Fuck
dare
it.
you poach
Let's
the
torch
king's beer?
everything. Salt the earth. It's over.
Salt the earth. Well, that's what's gonna happen when La Palma goes. It's gonna salt the earth.
Yeah, we'll see.
How far are you from the White Mountains?
Right up
Oh,
against them.
I don't know, an hour, 2 hours.
Because I definitely get the hell over to Mount Washington or that area.
Yeah, I'm probably 2 hours from there.
That
Hour
ain't
and a
bad.
half.
Gives you time, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All I gotta do, like North Conway is like 45 minutes from here, and then
Right.
it's like another 20 minutes or so when I'm in the mountains.
Yeah, because my dad's nestled on a kind of basically a hill in the Green Mountains, so I
Hmm.
know he's good.
Yeah, I ain't worried too much about that volcano. Even if it does go, I'll have time to get out.
It's been like stewing for months, hasn't it? Like,
Yeah,
Well, it's been erupting. It hasn't been stewing.
it's actual eruptions. All right. It's probably just has an upset tummy or something.
yep. Just a little bit.
All right. So what? Okay. So there's a hollow Earth. I mean,
It's a little grumpy, that's all.
hollow moon allegedly for hundreds of millions of years, potentially billions, perhaps. What are they waiting for? They've been observing human society for 7,000 years. What are they holding on to? Like, is it just an experiment? See how everything goes?
I think so.
I know what my phone did now. I know why it's so quiet. It took you guys off speaker and it's playing over like the regular speaker, like if I had the phone up to my ear.
You are gay.
And I don't know how to get it off that.
That's what happens when you don't have an iPhone, you peasant. Hey, you know what though? Ben, according to Zoom here, has a Galaxy S9 and you have a S21. So what's your excuse?
I don't know what any of that means, to be honest with you. I'm a Luddite. I just have this
I don't
crap.
know. I got a call on Facebook Messenger, and then after I didn't answer it, it took me off speakerphone and I can't get it back on.
No, it's all good. We can hear you just fine.
Like, very honestly, if there was a non-nuclear option for EMP, I would embrace it.
Well, you know what though? Neither one of you have iPhones, so that means you're peasants.
What, you have like
Shut up,
you have
Andy.
like you have like stock? Are they making you rich? Do they come?
Last time you came
I
up
don't
here,
even-
Andy, you
I
had
don't
like
e-
a Galaxy Note 10. So
I don't even have the newest iPhone.
That's what I mean. So, because they're
Yeah. So
obsolete.
I'm a peasant too, so it's all
They're
good.
obsolete
yeah,
after
Andy's got Apple spying on him. That's all.
Yeah, and you got fucking Google spying on you. So it's all good. They all
Googling.
they all work for the same people. Hmm.
How do I?
Right.
I
Wait,
like your.
I should do it more like this,
And don't they all have like right black eyes?
right? I wonder if all that ties into fucking Lord of the Rings, like the Eye of Sauron and all that shit.
Yeah, the all-seeing eye
Yeah.
Yeah, all
probably
seem
does.
Masonic and uh sort of that sort of thing, isn't it? Illuminati and all that good stuff. Like all seeing eyes on our dollar.
Or the movie Congo with the city of Zinj, Andy.
Oh yeah.
We are watching you.
Dude, I've heard that. Or
Amy.
I watched that movie like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Reese, I did
Found it.
too.
Yeah, I found it not too long ago. Dude,
Who is Kafka? Tell me.
the best part in that movie is when the fucking that gray fucking gorilla rips that dude's heart out and throws it at the other guy.
I remember seeing that scene as a kid and it freaked me the hell out.
Yeah. Fucking thing that hits him in the chest. He's like, what the fuck was that? It's a fucking beating heart. It's like,
Not just his dude heart.
yeah. Yep.
So, okay. Okay, so is that the theory? They're just observing or maybe even toying with things, you think? Like,
I would be.
I mean, so at this point, if they are doing that, do you think they have a directive, obviously, to not be spotted? Because it's kind of funny that you mentioned Lord of the Rings, because I've been on a real kick on that. In fact, I think it's one of the most important things ever written in human culture, human literature. But
One of the most.
no, it like is the most. But when people properly understand it, but because people are always bitching about Gandalf. Like I even remember doing this recently, because shame on me, I hadn't read the books until long after I saw the movies. So it's like I was always bitching about, why doesn't Gandalf just wipe these bastards out with like his staff or whatever. But then when you get into the actual lore and legends of it all, it's like he's prohibited from doing those sorts of things, like on even a rare basis. Like he's not allowed to do it.
Yeah, but even if you look into like other types of lore, as far as magic and that shit goes, there's a source. Like there's a source of magic, and everybody who is able to access it only has access to a certain amount. So like, it's finite. You can't just do whatever the fuck you want.
It's a source of magic contained within a person's ween.
Well,
That's
whatever. Fucking Ronnie going with the nuclear option here.
But he's actually prohibited from doing that on a normal basis. Like, he can't use his magic in front of like on anyone or against anyone. It actually has to be like he can reveal himself to creatures or beings of equal status.
Release
So
the hound.
the point being that like he's prohibited from like intervening magically. He can like rile people up and be their cheerleader. And that's why in all the movies he's always like patting cheering people up, but he's not like killing all the orcs, for example, with one stroke of the wand. So I'm curious.
Yeah, but I'm sure that if he could do that, he would.
Well, he barely survived a fight with the Balrog, if you remember. Like that actually killed him.
But
It was actually his magic which like drained him to a point where he was killed. So, and that was one Balrog. But I was just using that as an example, since we mentioned Lord of the Rings briefly.
Run, you fools.
So it's actually
hey, no, you know what? That's also a Mandela effect.
I know we talked about
Run, you fools. That one is a Mandela effect.
yeah. And I was just watching that a few days ago. It's like, yep, there it is, fly.
Hey Ben,
Yeah.
every time your phone vibrates, it sounds like a bunch of farts on here.
Cool. Uh
It's just like
that was just my weight loss app reminding me to get.
You're just
Um,
farting off the pounds, huh?
I'm sure it's possible. But so yeah, that's my whole point. Like, they obviously haven't like revealed themselves in 7,000 years of human culture and society. Not that we know of, at least. I mean, maybe they have to some random illiterate tribes that couldn't write down or document the experience, but they didn't intervene in like openly in like the world wars, for example, or to again, nothing open or overt. So I'm just curious what the holdup is then, if that's the case, if it's some lunar base. Maybe the other moons maybe they just jump moon to moon. I don't know.
Yeah,
They're very
but
sneaky, sir.
that it ties into time traveler theory though. Maybe they knew that these particular wars wouldn't destroy the planet or destroy our species. So they chose not to intervene because it is what it is, right?
Maybe it could be like Mr. Deeds, Andy, is sneaky. Very sneaky, sir.
I fear you underestimate the sneakiness.
Very good, sir.
Very good, sir. Do you mind if I touch your feet?
Okay, so
Please touch your feet.
so does that imply like that they potentially intervened in like the Cuban Missile Crisis?
The sight of that foot will haunt me for all of my days.
I was just about to say that, Andy.
Like when we were a second away from nuclear midnight, did they like pull some strings?
They did. You know why? You remember all those stories you hear of the UFOs showing up over the nuclear bases and shutting down our nukes?
I remember the New York City blackout in the 1960s, reading about that.
No, that was a solar flare. I'm talking about the UFOs. They visually saw UFOs over our nuclear silos, and we lost control of our nuclear arsenal. And the same thing around the same time happened to the Russians.
No, that's
There's one story where a UFO showed up over a base and actually put some of our missiles into their launch sequence.
Yeah,
And we couldn't
true?
shut them off.
Probably because they wanted to see what would happen.
Look at their faces. Look at their faces, especially that one guy doing this.
Psych. Just kidding.
Yeah. Everyone's running around looking like the Sims when there's a fire in their house, like arms over their heads waving.
Damn it, I never
What do I do?
Like it was so much fun.
I'm new. I don't know what to do.
Or there's the other thing when you used to have the Sims fucking have sex and it would go like dark.
Here we go.
They'd be like-
Nuclear option, Andy.
Yeah, and they'd be the sound effects. It'd be like, ooh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Right? They'd be like, oh,
I remember.
oh.
All right, so in the cases where we're potentially going to annihilate ourselves, they shut us down. So like,
Right. So how come they haven't used the death ray from the Death Star to take out our nuclear arsenals?
there's no Kaibar. Kaibar.
Because the Klingons haven't showed up yet.
Anyway, Rogue One is one of the best, might be my favorite Star Wars movie.
Mm. Good stuff.
That is a damn good film.
When you see Klingons coming from space and slee stacks coming up from under the ground, then you'll know it's end times.
Right? Yep. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think we beat this horse long enough.
Nay.
It's thoroughly dead.
Yeah. Well, I want to
And
be
the sea is,
I
the
want
sea
to
is foamy.
No, yeah, the topic itself, but what's everyone's feeling about it?
I want to beat the horse a little more.
Okay, so Ben,
DC biscuits.
on a scale of obese to anorexic, I got two questions. First, is the moon hollow? Hollow moon theory. Obese or anorexic or in between?
I mean, I'd be curious to know, like, because like what? The moon like controls our tides, for example, right? Like we have lunar tides, right? Like
Yep.
that's the moon. So like, is that? I'm just curious if like the density of the moon has any impact on that, or what the deal is.
No, that's the moon's tractor beam.
The moon has a tractor beam.
Yeah, and they pull the water around the earth
Oh Jesus!
with it.
Okay, so maybe density wouldn't impact that. Like I'm
very disappointed in you, Ronnie.
Yeah, that's a pretty anorexic theory there.
That is anorexic. That's
I-
thin. That's super thin.
you would think with all the I mean, again, just me being me, I don't trust the thing the government says to begin with. Doesn't matter who is in there, because hypothetically, you would think with all these high cameras and videos and satellites, especially focused on the moon, seems like the telescopes, you'd see like departures or entrances or egresses from some part of the moon at some point, unless of course they're I don't know. You would think you'd see departures and arrivals, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so Ben, anyway, I didn't ask
So
about
you want to see if there's a big fucking billboard on the moon that shows departures and arrivals? Like in the airport.
There should be some
Let's see
indication.
if there's a giant Trump 2024
You know what?
sign on the
I'm
moon.
gonna get the most powerful fucking telescope available to people like us, and I'm gonna see if I can find a fucking billboard on the moon. Departures and arrivals.
Hey, Jack, I mean, obviously the point is that, if this was true, then, there should be some sort of-
No, 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 no.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Your soundbite game is getting upped. Yo, Wade, your soundbite game lit AF.
All right, so I asked about the hollow moon, whether it's obese or anorexic.
I am probably anorexic. I don't know.
I think it's obese.
All right. So the moon is a spaceship that was flown here by aliens millions of years ago.
That's
Obese or anorexic?
That's anorexic. But
Okay, no. So I got the two mixed up. I think okay, so the former could be slightly overweight. The latter is anorexic, yeah.
I think the latter is somewhere in the middle because there is some evidence to suggest if it's not a spaceship, then it very possibly could have been dragged here by something and put here intentionally.
Unless it's just dormant.
Dormant?
Yeah, dormant. I mean, they haven't utilized.
Well, yeah. There's some evidence.
Do you know do you know the size of a ship it would take to drag something the size of the moon?
Not necessarily. You just keep the ship within the gravitational influence of the moon and use the gravitational influence of the ship to drag the moon along.
But that would be irritatingly slow.
No, it's just like, accelerating on ice. You got to speed up slowly.
All right. That's like me trying to drag this beer bottle by putting my finger this close to it and waiting for thousands of years for it to move this much.
Well, like the
Yeah. Yeah.
squid and like the squid in a Family Guy flashback. We ain't got nothing but time. Hey, is that your wife?
How's she doing?
Roadhouse.
She ready for a real man?
So maybe more so that's the shit. Well, I don't know.
Speaking of wives, how's your
Well,
wife doing, Ben? Is she over the Rona yet?
Yeah, yeah, I mean,
All good?
I mean, we're kind of having some lingering side effects, well, a few lingering side effects, but like we're over it. So,
Y'all are good though.
yeah, like, did you have anything lingering? Like hers is a cough.
Dude, when I was over it, I was over it and it was done. I was good.
Like, no little cough, no little head pains, nothing.
No, like I was at the point where I couldn't breathe for shit. And 3 days later, I was fine. And after that, I was good. And
I'm
no
not saying it was alien,
issues.
but it was alien.
Yeah. Not saying it was the aliens, but
It was the aliens.
it was the
Crazy.
aliens. I wish I had longer hair. I could mess it up and say it was the aliens.
Where's Ronald McDonald?
Well, he pointed his camera at the ceiling, obviously.
It was
Yep,
the
there it
aliens.
is. It was the aliens.
You have a, you
Yeah,
have a
it
theory
was
to go
the
along-
aliens.
you have a theory to go along with your haircut?
It was the aliens.
Yeah. See, he's not
All right.
saying it was the aliens, but it was the aliens.
Wait,
No,
so
I'm absolutely. I'm not saying it was the aliens, but it was aliens.
is the former theory though like it's just like a base then? Is the hollow moon thing like it's a base
Yeah.
for
The former theory is that it shows some characteristics of having been engineered in its placement and in its makeup, that it is in fact hollow. And like one of the things that I read earlier suggests that
What you
the
got there? Ben?
vast
I
the
see a
vast
bottle.
majority of the moon's mass exists close to the surface of the moon at several points around the moon,
wild
and
like
not in the center.
Ben,
So
you
that
got
kind of that
Ben.
discounts the moon having any kind of a dense core.
Ben, you got a bottle. What's that bottle?
yeah, it's just a little Corona.
Corona. Show it.
Coronavirus.
I gotta see it. Show the Corona.
No, I'm not gonna wave an empty bottle in front of the screen.
I want to see the Rona. That's it. Ah, damn.
Coronavirus.
Peasants. No,
Coronavirus.
This whole kung flu thing sucked for Corona.
I wasn't paying attention and I saw like this bottle just wisp across the screen and you had it to your mouth and then you like hid it away. And I was like, oh wait, I'm like, is that like liquor or something? What is that?
Specifically, the
Whiskey?
bottle was in the screen, but in fact there wasn't.
I saw something. That's why I asked.
Aliens.
I thought it was whiskey.
That just so what would that do you think that might just be like a sheet like some kind of shield then or a barrier?
No, disguise.
Force
Disguise?
field.
Well, like
Oh, no,
you
they
know,
could win the
like
force field.
the moon, like why it looks the way it does with all the the pockmarked fucking craters everywhere. You got the spaceship and in its transit here, it collected all that dust and bullshit. And it got here and then it got hit by all this shit. So it's covered by, 100 feet or so of dust and bullshit. So every time it gets hit by something, it makes a crater. And it looks nice and pretty and round. But I don't know. That's what I think.
Nice and pretty and round, huh, Andy?
Yeah, all the craters.
Nice and plump.
Yep. That's the way I like my booties.
Thick, THICC.
Buxom bosoms.
Oh yes.
Right, Ronald, what's your viewpoint?
Well, I think I'm gonna go with the more radical nuclear theory and say that yes, to me, the moon is a spaceship, and it was flown here millions and billions of years ago by some advanced race that may or may not still exist. And that is a relic of earlier times.
So what you're saying is the moon, if it is a spaceship, is no longer manned and it's just there.
No, I'm saying it's possible, but I'm saying it's also possible that it could be. They could still be there.
Well, that's what I was going with, that it was dormant. Because obviously it doesn't like leave its orbit. It doesn't disappear. It doesn't, break ranks. So
That's an interesting
Shows-
thought.
It's just funny that it shows no characteristics in common with any other moon in our solar system. None. Not a one.
Ooh. You know how everybody's always talking about Planet X and Nibiru and all this shit? What if the moon is Planet X slash
I
Nibiru?
thought Planet X was like a dark planet.
Well, is the moon not dark? It's only lit up because it's reflecting light off of the sun.
No, the theory goes that Planet X in Nibiru has a highly elliptical orbit. And it only passes through our solar system every, I can't remember, 3,000
Yeah.
4,000 years.
Yeah,
5,000
but
years,
but
whatever it is.
who really knows that shit?
The Sumerians, that it's their theory.
Yeah, well, they were peasants.
Yeah, well, the people that apparently came from that planet talked to the Sumerians. So
Well, they were peasants too.
they created life on Earth, apparently.
And they
Well,
were
the human race.
and they were peasants. So it's all good.
They were Scientologists.
They were all peasants. The Scientologists especially. Oh, excuse me.
I love the South Park Scientology episode. That fucking kills me.
Dude, hey,
They
you know
kept-
what?
they
You know what?
kept
Sal,
laughing.
say what you want about Scientology and L. Ron Hubbard, but that dude was a gifted fucking writer. You know what? I've read several of his books and they're fucking great.
He was also a naval officer, so it's like, great, he was in my branch.
And he was also a vicious cult leader. I've heard some crap about L. Ron Hubbard.
He's
Oh, we know.
he's a very naughty boy.
You don't
He
want
was
to be
very naughty.
you don't want to be discommunicated from the Scientology. Let's just put it that way. If you get in, you don't want to be discommunicated because that would be bad for you.
You don't get to talk with Tom Cruise anymore.
Well, that's 'cause Tom Cruise is a
There's
peasant.
lots of holes in the ground for people that are discommunicated.
Tom Cruise is a very wealthy peasant.
Do you mean discommunicated, Andy, or do you mean excommunicated?
That's it.
Keep saying the peasant.
That's it. Excommunicated. Yep.
Okay.
Well, Tom Cruise is a peasant, so
What does that mean in that context? Now you're losing me. First you used it to refer to Galaxy users. I'm just confused by your terminology.
because peasant is my thing for this episode. I don't know why, but it is.
Silence, peasant.
Yes.
Bloody peasants.
He must be a king. How do you know? He hasn't gone shit all over.
Call up the Ashas. No, but we'll hit our men as well. Yes. But we'll hit theirs as well. And we'll have reserves.
Attack.
Yeah. So anyway, Tom Cruise is nothing but a money. He's nothing but a money pit for Scientology. He's
They
a
got
money
him.
guy.
They got him early too.
Yeah, but I mean, part of joining Scientology is you give everything you own and all of your wealth and worldly possessions to the fucking group. Communism.
To the
That's what it is. It's communism.
to the Sea Org.
Yeah. And fucking Tom Cruise is the face of it. And if Tom Cruise wants to come to my house and question this, up yours, bring it. Because I'll punch you in the fucking mouth.
Come on down to Riverside, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Up yours. I don't care. Question me. Prove me wrong. I'll videotape the whole thing as I kick your ass.
Yeah, somehow I doubt he's as tough as he thinks he is or that he portrays himself in movies.
No, he's a fucking pussy and he knows he is. Dude,
When
have
I-
you heard the stories about him? He goes into these fucking places like restaurants and shit that have fish tanks. He'll grab a fish out of the fucking fish tank and he'll go into the bathroom and he'll fuck the fish till it dies. That's what he does. Ask,
You heard
Henry Zabrowski. He knows. Come up. Look up
Henry
Henry Zabrowski.
Zabrowski.
Yeah, look up Henry Zabrowski.
And
When he talks about Tom Cruise's antics with fish.
and there's Andy with the nuclear option for the
Yeah.
night. Tom Cruise bangs fish to death.
Fuck Tom Cruise.
Nuclear option brought to you by
And the steed on which he did derive.
Behold, the field in which I grow my fucks and see that it is barren.
Jesus. I don't know.
Thou shalt consumest a satchel of Richards.
Thou mayst consume a satchel of Richards.
Runneth up, ho, thou doth not want these hands.
Jesus Christ. Fucking awesome, Ronnie. You're great. You're awesome. You're still a peasant, though.
I demand a proper definition, a thorough definition of this next episode, because it's just being used at random. You're spraying and praying with this word.
Hey, I'm going to name this episode Ronnie's a peasant.
No, just name it peasants.
Peasants.
Peasant.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna name it the moon. I'm just gonna name it the moon.
Name it
Dumb.
moon peasants.
Moon peasants.
Wait, so what was the deal with the craters, though, in the theory?
Oh,
That
yeah, I wanted to get to this. If you
Well,
if you look at the moon and all the craters, if you're looking at the craters, take your telescope and pan all the craters. Notice that they appear to be the same depth. All of the craters appear to be the same depth from the surface.
They say that this was observed by the astronauts as well. Despite the size of the crater or its width or anything, despite its size, all the craters on the moon that we can observe are similar depth, and that some of the craters are also anomalous because a lot of them are convex in shape in the bottom of the crater, not concave as you would expect.
okay. So what's the
So Ronnie's being all scientific and shit.
'cause-
Concave and convex and peasantness.
no? We're the peasants for not
I
knowing.
know I'm using big words, Andy. I don't expect a peasant like you to understand them.
Release the hound.
Well, for your lack of contribution to this discussion tonight, you sure did bring your soundbite game.
You're fired.
Ben was laughing so hard he dropped his phone.
I was anyhow. Okay, so there's something with the craters that's peculiar.
Well, it's not just peculiar, it's downright irritating.
It's rather irksome.
Yes.
Excellent.
I have two buttons here. One will provide your town with power and sunlight. The other button, release the hounds. Come, brother, embrace me. And then he starts pleading his case and please give us power and sunlight and whatever, and he's hovering over the hounds button, and then all of a sudden he starts pushing it frantically.
Or on the movie Gladiator, where he's all, I want to embrace the people of Rome as if they were my own children. Tell me, sir, have you ever embraced a person with plague? No. But if you interrupt me again, I guarantee you shall.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a group of moon people listening to this podcast and like, fuck, they're on to us.
You are gay.
That's what they're saying about us, just in whatever dark language they speak of unknown
Right.
origin.
Let's start launching the coronavirus to the moon since it's so bad, and we'll give them all the Rona.
Well, they'll
Yeah.
just come and try
And when they're over it in a week, and
well, that was inconvenient. Yes, it was.
Hey,
George.
we could send them all care packages full of smallpox
oh
blankets.
my God, I cannot believe the snot that was coming from my nose.
Andy, did you hear me?
No,
Like we could send all the moon people smallpox blankets and care packages to the moon.
yeah, but
It's just a tradition. Don't mind it.
there's no
Welcome.
guarantee that the smallpox would fuck with them the way it does with us.
That's what I mean, because see, that's always the interesting thing when I hear about us, like humans being transported to the other planets for survival, or or if there's like, oh, there's water on this or that planet, but who says that if you don't take a sip of that, it doesn't like vaporize your body instantly or your interior, like
Well,
your
yeah, I mean, because you're deciding from billions of miles away that this planet is fucking safe because it's within this zone from its star, and from what we can see visually, it has water on it.
like that water could turn you to pure fire or something.
Yeah, you don't know what that fucking water has floating around in it.
Like that's
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just
I
you
don't know.
drink it and it just liquefies your insides, and you
Right.
you shit your insides out and you die.
Okay,
Yeah,
Bob, you drew the short straw. Take a sip of the pool there on the Sea of Tranquility.
Pardon me, sir, but I feel I have to take a massive shit. Oh,
And
okay.
His
Oh my
spinal.
Oh.
goodness, is that my spleen?
that was my small intestines.
Oh, my spleen seems to have come out my bunghole.
Well, the experiment's complete. Don't touch his shit. We will all have thoughts and prayers for Bob.
Connies, circus
Bob.
folk,
Fuck Bob. he's a
nomads, you
peasant.
know. Smell like
Oh.
cabbage. Small hands.
Fuck Bob. He's a fucking peasant.
This is Bob. Don't be like Bob.
Yeah, don't be like Bob.
Everybody
Well,
has to
you know
do
what?
it.
I think we've all right. Ben showed up and the sea got foamy. So
Well, Ronnie was the serious one tonight, so that was already a foamy.
you know what?
Foamy
It's my fault for churning up the seas into a thick white foam. But
Thick white foam of debauchery.
yes.
And
Okay.
all sorts of mean and nasty things.
Yes, yes. So
Me nasty hobbitses.
Stole it from us.
yeah, it was the fat one, the stupid fat hobbitses. So, all right. So I think we've
Precious.
I think we've gone as far as we can with the moon at this point. Maybe we'll revisit this on a future episode. But this is the Supernatural Beer Bros podcast. Beer Bros. We're not peasants, but technically we are.
You're abusing that word there.
So anyway, I had to take another drink. Excuse me. So we're on Instagram at SBB Pod, Sierra Baker
Sierra
Baker Papa Oscar Delta.
MOUSE SBB Podmouse.
We're also at your mother's and your sister's ass.
We're also
And
if you got bitches, gripes, complaints, suggestions, hit us up at supernaturalbeerbros@gmail.com.
And your best
And,
hike.
we're also on YouTube same thing, Supernatural Beer Bros. That's our channel on YouTube. And we had a couple comments from people we didn't know, one of whom subscribed, which is good. Awesome UFO guy, right? That was his name. I think UFO guy.
It's really Tony Fauci. He's really on.
It can't be Tony. Tony Fauci doesn't have the intelligence to use a keyboard to type, and he damn sure wouldn't be able to write a poem as eloquent as this guy did.
Yeah,
Oh.
he'd just be pushing the Fauci ouchie on us on the comment section.
Exactly. So yeah, I got no faith in Fauci.
Oh, by the way, because of this, real quick, I found, because they're talking about this new Omicron, variant. Omicron is that wait, what do you call it? I'm sorry, I'm kind of blanking, but like when you rearrange the letters and you get another word, you know what I'm talking about?
Acronym?
Not an acronym.
No.
Like
What's the name of it?
I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's like, you can rearrange the letters and get another completely different
Was it anagram?
anagram.
Yeah.
So rearrange Omicron of the new variant and you get moronic.
Yeah.
I had to do it myself because I saw that meme going around. I was like, that's probably fake. Nope, it's real. So
Don't make fun of my English skills. I'm not very good at math, all right?
Yeah.
D is for listexia.
C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
I thought D was for Durka Durka.
D is
Islamic
for
jihad.
diabetes. I ate too much cookies.
Yeah, I miss the days when fucking Sesame Street wasn't political.
They've always been kind of political though. Like
Yeah, but now it's way more political.
M is
All
for
right, guys.
M is for myocarditis.
Ronnie signing off. I gotta go to bed.
Seriously? You're
Yeah,
not bailing on us now.
it's late. I gotta get
We're
up in the
almost
morning.
done, Ronnie. You got to hold on till the end.
Well, let's go.
Hold the
Wrap it
line.
up.
It's gonna be the end right now. Hold on.
I'm gonna start playing the wrap it up box on you.
Yeah, that's because you're a homo.
Whoa, whoa.
I'm tired.
You're always tired.
Yeah, I never get a
Man.
good night's sleep anymore.
Here, let's close off with a little closing song from Jaws. Show me the way to go home.
I'm tired and I wanna go to bed. Had a little drink about an hour ago.
Right to my head.
Wherever I may roam, by land or sea,
home.
you can always hear me singing this song. Show me the way to go home. Jaws fucks up the boat.
All of a sudden, what the fuck was that? Right?
It's them damn mermaids.
All right. Well, I already said where you can find us, where you can hit us up. What else is there? Am I forgetting something, Ronnie?
Nope.
No, I don't think so. You had the Instagram, you had email.
Yep.
There is no Ronnie. There's only Zool.
No, there is no Ronnie. There's only peasant.
Are you the gatekeeper?
I am the key master.
Master.
Yep. All right. So
Not to get involved with possessed people.
Oh, it seems like there's
Zuli, you
enough people
nutball.
in there already.
no, I want to talk to Dana. Dana. There is no Dana, only Zool.
What a lovely singing voice you have.
Yeah. What a lovely singing voice you must have.
One of my favorite parts of that movie is when what Vince Clortho, that's who he became briefly. Mr. Tully became Vince Clortho. He's talking to the horse and it's like, you shall all perish in flame, and he fucking knocks over a trash can. You saw a perish in flames.
Viggy, you've been a bad monkey.
Would you like some
Anyway.
coffee? Yes.
Dude,
have
like
some.
we've
Yeah.
rambled on for about a half an hour of nonsense. So anyway, this has
The
been
sea's got so foamy, it's dried up now.
yeah, it's
so-
dried up. There's no tsunami coming because there's no water left.
The aliens.
it's all-
people
it's all
voted
foam.
for moon base.
It's all foam. Anyway, so this has been the Supernatural Beer Bros podcast. We are signing out.